Hi, welcome. My name is Jennifer Rodriguez, a professional learning events programs and social impact coordinator at Shape America. Today, I'll be demonstrating how to submit a presentation proposal for the 2023 Shape America National Convention and Expo in Seattle on the Shape America website. All presentation submission proposals must be submitted online through the submission site by the deadline of Thursday, July 21st, 2022 at 11:59 Pacific Time. To access the website, you can type in your search engine, Shape America, and click the link. Once you're on the Shape America homepage, select the Events and Conferences tab. This will take you to the Events and Conferences page. So go ahead and select Physical Education, Health Education, Shape America, or the Events and Conferences tab. I'll go ahead and select the first one. So you can see where the Events and Conferences tab is also on the homepage. Go ahead and select it. Scroll down. Select Call for Proposals now open next to the Shape America Seattle graphic. You should now be on the Call for Proposal page. Take a moment to look over the page and familiarize yourself with it. Please take the time to go over the submission resources listed on the right side. Shape America is seeking high-quality proposals that will be delivered through an equity, diversity, and inclusion lens and address a full range of issues facing health and physical educators, administrators, other key stakeholders as they seek to put all children on the path to health and physical literacy. Please review the submission resources here on the right side of the screen. For example, the 2023 Call for Proposals FAQs, submitting a competitive proposal. And if you have any questions, you can always contact us here. In order to submit your session, please complete the following steps and reference the additional guidance documents available on the page. Step 1, read the presenter agreement and ensure all presenters read and agree prior to listing them on the session proposals. So go ahead and select the blue font to view the presenter agreement. Please make sure that you and any co-presenter or author review the presenter agreement prior to beginning your submission. Step 2, review the newly updated submissions category to ensure you've identified the appropriate category and subcategory, if applicable, for your session. Go ahead and select the blue font to view the Shape America National Convention Expo submission categories. Please review them prior to beginning your submission. Review the appropriate submission guide to ensure you understand the information that will be necessary for a proposal. Review the FAQs on this page if you would like additional guidance. We're submitting a presentation proposal, so let's go ahead and select that first one. Go ahead and review this document so you can get an idea of the information you will need. Step 4, begin your submission by clicking the link below. Be sure you click Start Submission under the appropriate session type. Please note that you do not need to complete your submission in one sitting. After starting your submission, you will receive a confirmation email that includes a session or abstract ID and password that can be used to edit or complete a submission at a later time. You may edit your submission until the deadline. Presentation sessions, research abstracts, and research symposium submissions deadline is on Thursday, July 21st by 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Go ahead and select Submit Your Proposal to get started. You should now see the Call for Submissions page. Notice on the right side, there's a box that allows you to view, resume, edit, or withdraw a submission by typing in your presentation ID number and password. Please note that you will receive an email with your presentation ID number and password once you submit a presentation title. So once you initiate begin your submission, your proposal process, and type in the title, you'll receive this email. At the top of the page, you can notice different drop-down tabs that describe the overview of information that you'll be providing throughout your proposal submission. For example, specific submission information regarding the planner and presenter, the information you'll need, for example, their names, their affiliation, their contact information. the ability to be able to copy and paste your description from another document, or you can simply type into that text box. Confirmation. And then if you're submitting an abstract, general information. So let's begin. To submit a new presentation proposal, select the first Begin a Submission under Presentation Submission. Let's do that. Wait for the countdown to direct you to our members login page. If you already have an account, enter your credentials. If you do not, we invite you to create a free profile and give us a try. As you can see, I had already logged in, so it automatically logged in, but I can always log out and try again. Wait for the countdown, but I think I'm already logged in. Oh, no, see, I logged out, so now it's allowing me to go ahead and log in. Like I said, if you do not have a login, it's free to create an account and do so. I'm going to go ahead and include my credentials. Go ahead and sign in. You do not need to be a member to submit a proposal, but you do need to create an account. If you have any questions or concerns, please call member services at 800-213-7193, extension 1490, or email membership@shapeamerica.org. Once you enter your credentials, sign in. At this point, if you have followed the previous steps on the original submission page, all speakers should have read the presenter and speaker agreement terms and conditions. Reminder, all presenters must review the presenter speaker agreement terms and conditions before checking this first box, as you can see here. If they have done so, go ahead and select I have read and agree to the terms and conditions on behalf of yourself and any other individuals who will be presenting or working on this presentation with you. Make sure that you read the instructions as you go along. As you can see, the first box is for you to type in your session title and title case only. So I'll go ahead and type that. Your submitter's email should have automatically been inserted, but if it was not, type it in. Select the presentation type, 60 minutes. Then select your category. Read what it says in the choices. Select the one that best represents your presentation. So if you can see here, health education, physical activity, and professional preparation. Please note that some of these tracks may be sponsored. Go ahead and use these little descriptions to assist you to identify which one best fits your presentation. I'll go ahead and make my selection. And now you'll see the subcategory. It also has little explanation to assist you with selecting which subcategory best represents your presentation. Go ahead and select one and move on to the next one. As a reminder, there is a category resource document on the Call for Proposals homepage that you can review prior to beginning your call for proposals in case you would like to review the categories more in depth. Go ahead and select your intended audience. Please select up to 3 applicable audiences. The ideal session attendance below, we'll get to that in a minute. Let me go ahead and select these. Go ahead and move on to the ideal session attendance below once you've selected your 3 applicable attendance audience. For the ideal session attendance is used by Shape America in planning to help select appropriate room sizes and scheduling. Let us know the quantity of your expected audience. So I'll go ahead and do that. Select whether you're a first-time presenter. Should your session be accepted for presentation at this year's convention, would you be willing to have your session recorded and utilized as part of future Shape America professional learning opportunities for our community? Select yes or no. Next question. If a separate virtual presentation opportunity were to become available post-convention, would you be interested in also presenting this session in a virtual format? For example, a webinar, interactive meeting, or other opportunities? Select yes or no. Does this participant or a participant need special accommodations due to a disability? Let us know, yes or no. If you select yes, please go ahead and explain in this box. Then select your room setup. Let us know if you will need AV equipment. So room setup first, as you can see, a theater seating is rows of interlocked chairs. Round tables are round table seating of 8 to 10 individuals per table. An activity room setup is an open activity space with chairs surrounding the perimeter of the room. AV equipment. Will you need AV equipment? If you do not need AV equipment, please select no equipment required. If you do, please go ahead and select what you will need. If AV equipment was unavailable for your presentation, would you be able to adjust your session to accommodate the lack of AV? Let us know, yes or no. Please note, Shape America does not provide CDs or DVD players, extension cords, laptops, or laser pointers. If accepted into the 2023 Shape America National Convention Expo program, planners indicating their need for activity equipment will receive additional communication regarding how to reserve activity equipment for their session. Will your session require activity equipment? Let us know, yes or no. We ask that you please review and read the following, then select the understood box. Prior to reading this box, please note that even if you indicate that you do not need activity equipment above, you will need to respond to the following questions in order to proceed through the next step of the submission process. So now we can go ahead and read this box. Thanks to generous donation from Gopher, Shape America is able to provide activity equipment for convention sessions. A list of all available equipment may be viewed here. We strongly discourage the use of any outside equipment for sessions unless it is an item that we do not have available in the above linked inventory. Go ahead and select this option to view the equipment we have. Make sure you read and check that you understand this agreement. The agreement is, I understand that if this session is accepted in this year's convention program and activity equipment is required for facilitation, we will be expected to utilize equipment made available by Gopher through the Shape America equipment closet rather than equipment from outside sources, unless the specific piece or pieces of equipment are not available in Shape America's inventory. Select I understand and agree. Please review the list of available equipment in the Shape America equipment closet here. Go ahead and select that, review it. After reviewing this list, are there any additional types of equipment you may need that aren't currently represented on this list? Select yes or no. If you answer yes above, what additional activity equipment do you need that is not reflected in the Shape America equipment closet? Let us know down here in detail. Please be specific as possible to include specific equipment names, such as the Gopher SKU numbers or quantities. If you do not need additional equipment, as you can see above, I selected no. Please make sure you type in NA as not applicable in order to move on to the next step. Otherwise, this page will not let you move on. It will give you an error message. For an example, I'll go ahead and leave it blank, select save. As you can see, there's an error right up here. It says, please fix errors highlighted below. So I will have to scroll down and it will be highlighted in red and it'll tell you what you're missing. So since I selected no, I'm gonna go ahead and type in NA so that I can move on. Select save. Make sure you always select Save before moving on. Next, if all the information was inputted correctly, the application will automatically direct you to the next step after you select Save. If there is an error, red box will appear at the top of the screen as I had showed you earlier. If you look at the above tabs, you will notice that the setup session has an orange and white check mark next to it to represent that it has been completed. You're not allowed to skip ahead in steps, but you can go back if you need to. Make sure to always click Save at the bottom of each step when you make changes. In order to move to step 3, you need at least one planner and one presenter. It's important to note, planners are not listed in an online scheduler or the mobile app. If the planner will also be a presenter, please check both boxes for the names to be listed in the program. If you are a planner and you will also be presenting, please make sure you select both boxes to be listed in our final program. If you only select planner, you will not see your name in it. A planner for submission receives all communication for the session from Shape America and is responsible for communicating that information with all of the listed presenters. Please make sure your planner and presenters are aware of the planner responsibilities. Only planners can request changes for a session. Before adding a new name, search the database to see if the name you are looking for appears. If the person you're looking for is not found, select Not Found, enter a new name to import the information. So I'll go ahead and give an example of an individual that's not in the system. So I'll go ahead and search. No matches were found. So I will automatically sent to this page where I will need to input all the required fields: the first name, their last name, their affiliation, and their email address. And any other information that I have available, I can also include here to be helpful. Make sure you always select Save and Continue to save this information. In this case, I would like to show you the other way of looking for an individual. So I'll go ahead and go back. So I'm gonna go ahead and select people. And this time I'm gonna look for myself using my email. I'm gonna go ahead and select that. I'm going to be a planner and a presenter in this case. And I will search. And as you can see, I show up here. If I want to make any edits to the information for this presenter, I will select and edit and make changes here. Before I select Save and Continue after making changes, you have to select an affiliation. Select Save and Continue, or else you'll get an error to select an affiliation. Now you'll see here that the individual has been listed since I did select Save and Continue this time. I'm gonna go ahead and add one more person. Search the database and select. As you can see now, I'm a presenter now, and so is Chastity. I'm currently the planner. As you can see here, you can make edits by selecting this edit option to make edits to the individual. If you change your mind, you can always go back to people and be taken back. You can also delete presenters here by selecting this little symbol. You can change the order of presenters by using these arrows. Make sure you always click Save when you do this. Otherwise, it won't save the order. It will revert to the original order. Now that I have at least one planner, one presenter, and the planner can be the presenter in the case of a presentation if you're presenting alone. Go ahead and move on to description. So we'll go ahead and move on. Okay. The description. The description text must not exceed 75 words. You can either copy the text from a document or you can type directly into the box. So I'm gonna go ahead and type something simple, just to show you as an example. We'll go ahead and select save and continue. And now we will be taken to the learning objectives. 3 learning objectives are required. Place each one into each box. Do not number the objectives. The learning objective should complete the statement. After attending this session, the attendees will be able to blink. Each learning objective should be addressed by the speakers and should use measurable terms such as explain, describe, distinguish, design, apply, or so on. Here in this kind of blue box, you can see a list of all the words, of all the measured terms. Each learning objective must begin with one of these words or your application will get an error message. I'm gonna go ahead and show you an example. Let's say here I don't put anything, or let's say I do put something. Let's say I just put a word that is not a measurable term. You'll see down here that it's telling me, please start your learning objective with one of the action words. I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that just so that you can see what happens. In this case, I will put a measurable term. I'm gonna go ahead and select save so that you can see. A little pop-up will show up. It says all learning objectives must begin with one of the specified action words. You hit OK, it turns red. I now have to go in and use an action word. Try to make your learning objectives one sentence each. Go ahead and select save. Make sure you're always selecting save when any changes are made. For the last step, please proofread what you have entered before selecting submit at the bottom of the page. If you need to make any changes, click the appropriate step up here, as you can see on the session control panel. Make sure to select the submit button under the last step or you will not have completed your submission and we will not have your submission in our database. So make sure that down here you select submit. So let me go ahead and review. As you can see, I can also print this page now. And over here on the left-hand side, I can also print. I can log out. I can report a technical issue, and I can view my submission or withdraw it. I'm going to go ahead and submit now that I've reviewed it. You will see at the top, your submission has been received. This is how you will know that you're good to go. You will also see an orange print here box as well so that you could print your submission. If you do not see this left column, some of you might not see it. It will look like this. You can always view it by selecting that option, those 3 lines at the top. Remember that if you ever want to log back into your presentation, refer to that email that you received upon submission initiation. If at any time you have questions regarding proposals, please email proposals@shapeamerica.org or call Shape America at 703-476-3400. Thank you for supporting Shape America and sharing your presentation with the Shape America community. See you in Seattle.